Hi, my name is Rachel Chateau. I'm with Pride.com. Tina, it is so amazing to meet you. I'm so excited to chat with you today. I saw the film last night. I absolutely loved it.
Great.
It's just like pure serotonin, so many laughs.
It's a good way to put it. I'm so glad.
So you made Mean Girls. It wasn't just a hit. It's like a pop culture sensation that 20 years later is still relevant, still quoted, still beloved. When you've made something like that, how do you go back and try to recreate that kind of magic? And what anxieties come up when you're trying to do that?
Yeah, well, when you go back, you try to think about like what is the core of it, right? What was the reason to do it in the first place, and try to maintain that, And some of that is sort of telling Katie's story and Katie kind of learning to be her authentic self and getting into the relationships between Janis and Regina. It's about those mistakes that people made and their grievances with each other and keeping those at the center of the story. And then I think the anxiety comes from, what things do you keep? What things do you change? I've sort of learned along the way, it's become clear to me that jokes only work if they're surprises. And so you can have little moments of homage, but if you really want something to be a proper joke, it has to be new, or it's not going to surprise anybody.
Yeah, absolutely. And there are some really great new jokes in this. In particular, the whole like French version of us. I was howling. I was
so happy when I got to see Jacquel film that. I was like, oh my gosh, this is going to work. So good.
Yeah, so good. So Mean Girls has really become so beloved of the queer community. I think that one of the best things about this new version is that it sees more inclusion, like the decision to actually make Janis textually queer. We've been claiming her forever, but she's textually queer in this. Can you talk to me a little bit about, how and when the decisions to go in that direction came about?
Yeah, I think in the past, like on stage, I sort of left it up to the actor, like how they wanted to play it. I think my feeling back in the day in the original movie was sort of about, because people have asked me like, well, why does she end up with Kevin G? And I was like, well, I think my thought at the time was like, because no one gets to tell her what she is. Like other people saying you're this doesn't define her. So I was like, who knows what the adult Janis from that movie, who knows what her path was. But now I think it's been kind of gratifying. It just feels like it's reflecting the time more accurately, that people would be living more out, and when I grew up, I had a lot of friends who were out within our friend group, but they didn't like take dates to spring fling. And my hope is, and it's certainly not true everywhere, but like a lot of places, that's not an issue anymore, and kids would, of course, if you were showing a school today, of course, people would be with whoever they wanted to be with at spring fling.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think that's really exciting. And like so much of this film is, as much as it's a cautionary tale in some ways, it's also very aspirational, especially with those two characters. So I was really excited to see their queerness represented and like throughout the fabric of the film itself. So, well, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me.
It was so nice to talk to you.
Making the film.
Thank you so much.